Are you ready? Hey, think you can tell us what to do? You think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready.
All right, it is Monday night, which means we are here for another great night on the Retro Wrestling Revival. I am John Wangland. Joining me as always is Brother Martin, Chris Martin. How you doing tonight, Brother Martin? Can you hear me?
Yes, brother, I can hear you, man. You doing all right tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you doing there?
Man, I'm doing fantastic, and I got a quick treat for you before I go on.
What do you got? Oh, Jesus, stop.
Okay.
I'll leave if I hear that song.
I'm picking, brother. But in all seriousness, man, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm stoked. I can't wait to watch some good old-fashioned wrestling with you with the Great American Bash, brother. And hopefully part 2 will be a lot better than part 1 because the last week it was a massive dumpster fire. But on the flip side, it was some of the best conversation we've ever had on the show. So that goes to show you that even like with bad content, we can have great conversation. And speaking of great conversation, me and John, we've been hitting grand slams every single week on our radio show, the Retro Wrestling Revival. And you know what? I feel like our most recent one we did, like our 6th episode talking about CM Punk, was hands down our best episode yet. So I encourage everybody not to just check this out, because we want you to check it out, the Monday Night Wars, baby, but we also want you to check us out every single Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 10 p.m. on what station, John?
WDJY 99.1 FM, Straight Talk Radio, Metro Atlanta area. Come check it out every Saturday and Sunday night, 9 to 10 p.m. That's enough selfless plugs, though. We'll mention it a few more times through the show.
All right.
So, there, buddy boy.
So, what do we got on the docket tonight, brother? Because I know you're looking forward to seeing the Macho Man. Oh, yeah, you're going to feel the bang. I know you are from DDP and among other wonderful superstars.
We hopefully got a good show tonight. Daniel says, well, the night was decent until I heard that theme. Remode will make everybody go away. I'm sure we'll discuss that on a future episode of the worst entrance music of all time.
That's not a bad idea.
That definitely might be up there with it for sure. But hopefully we'll have a much better show than the last time. I got to say, though, last week we had a lot of fun, irregardless, discussing random things. And that Public Enemy dumpster fire promo that they did with Johnny Pots and Pans and
Jesus Christ.
Wow, that was something that might rank up with the worst shit WCW ever did, and that says a lot right there. That's just going to throw that out there. That says a lot.
Okay. Would you rather watch do that promo or a Bella Twins match? I know that's a tough one.
Man, I don't know. You have no idea on that one. That's a hard choice right there. I might go to a Bella Twins match on
Oh
that
my
one.
God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anybody that knows my dislike for the Bella Twins matches and anything that they do, it says a lot. So yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. It might be. I'd have to think on that one, but maybe we'll have to revisit that question again in the near future if those lovely ladies grace our screen ever on this show, which hopefully they never really will. Daniel says the Bella Twins match will be over quick.
And which I can imagine there'll probably be about 9 or 10 botches before the match is over. But it is what it is.
That's the best part of it. At least you don't have to hear and talk about Johnny Pots and Pans and shit, you know?
That's true.
All right, so here's what's on the docket tonight. So we got part 2 of the Great American Bash tonight. If you guys want to watch along with us, head on over to Peacock. The timestamp we're going to be at tonight is 1 hour and 33 minutes flat. So 1 hour and 33 minutes flat on the Peacock network is where we're watching on. And this, once again, comes from the mark at the Quad Cities in Moline, Illinois.
Dude.
Yes. Hello, Jeremy. How are you? We decided to come on a little bit early tonight here. We got on a little bit earlier than usual. So, and I got to work. Yeah, I got to work super early tomorrow too. So I wanted to try to get on as quick as we could. So we are a little bit earlier than 10:15, but we're back at the mark in Moline, Illinois. Yeah, that stadium name or arena, whatever you want to call it. Hell of a name right there.
Okay, so
Very fitting.
Very fitting, and I got some insider information, and from what I heard, do you know the movie Delivery Man with Vince Vaughn?
I've never seen it, I don't think.
Okay, so basically, long story short, Vince Vaughn, he went to like the sperm bank, and he's got like 3,000 kids because of how many donations. Now, actually, what the movie was based off was Lee Marshall's experience from going from town to town to town with a woman. Apparently, he's got 16 children from Moline, Illinois.
Wow.
16.
Lee's a stud.
He is.
With that mustache, I'm surprised he doesn't have 1,600.
Oh, no shit, man. I'm just saying.
Jeremy said, love the radio broadcast this weekend, guys. Listen, both nice. Well, thank you so much, Jeremy. Really appreciate that, my friend. We had a lot of fun doing that. And we're right down in your neck of the woods in the Atlanta area. So we're super glad to be on that wonderful station. So once again, to everybody, come on out and check it out on the weekends. We hope everybody's enjoying it, just checking it out. And if you're not, go on out and give it a listen every Saturday and Sunday night, 9 to 10 p.m. right over there. Daniel says he went to the sperm bank and saw Miss NWO. Miss NWO was a hottie, wasn't she, Chris?
She was a hottie with a smoking body.
Oh, she sure was. That's for sure.
Man, Mae Young is actually hotter, but yeah, we're not going to go there.
That might be for sure. Well, here is the lineup for tonight, folks. So in the first match tonight, Chris Benoit is in this match, and he is not taking on Kevin Sullivan.
Thank you, Jesus.
He is taking on Meng in a death match. So I'm sure those two are going to beat the tar out of one another, don't you think?
Yes. Speaking of death matches, we recently had one last Wednesday on AEW. It was between Jarrett and Jeff Hardy. It was a Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match. It was an absolute shit show, but hey.
Hey, Leatherface came out. I've been on a horror binge lately, by the way, Brother Martin.
Yeah, really? They have a new video game out called the Texas Chainsaw Massacre for the Xbox and for the PlayStation.
Isn't there a new movie coming out too? Wasn't that what they were promoting or something?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The last one sucked, by the way. My daughter's got me into horror movies, so every night we're watching horror movies. We just watched Freddy Krueger 3 right before.
Oh, nice. And for me, the worst, like the two worst horror movies that I've ever seen, which I literally begged for my money back for, it was The Ring Part 2 and The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Those movies are fucking horrible. Anyway,
I saw Insidious, I think is what it's called, in the movie theater on my recent trip. Mm-hmm. And everybody is like screaming during the movie, and I'm laughing during the entire thing. Like, it takes a lot to freak me out. I'm sitting there laughing at everybody like screaming during this thing. I'm like, the shit ain't that scary, but irregardless of horror movies, another topic, another time. Maybe we'll bring up good horror movies during Halloween Havoc time. Something like that would be fun. Yeah,
we can mix that in like with horror wrestling characters. Who are the scariest?
There you go. All right. So the next match is going to be Kevin Greene taking on Steve McMichael, who's got Debra with him tonight. Mongo's been on the up and up. Kevin Greene has been very impressive, and I'm not being sarcastic right here at all, folks. I'm being 100% serious. Kevin Greene has been very, very impressive as we've seen him.
Yes.
This guy had a passion for wrestling, and we'll talk
He
about
did.
it when we get into it and during that match. So that's one of the matches. Then we got the outsiders, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, taking on Ric Flair and Mr. Piper for the WCW World Tag Team Championship. So
Nice.
if that feud culminates tonight or if it keeps going. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I think we're going to have some funny stuff with the NWO coming up here real soon. My spot, the spot, not your spot.
My spot, your spot.
That's coming up pretty soon.
Thank God Glock Anderson wasn't around then.
Glock Anderson's a dangerous dude. The strangest, scariest movie I've ever seen because it can happen in real life. Yeah. The ones that are great are the ones that can happen in real life. That's
true.
I saw this one called Hell House recently, which was really good, actually. I'll say that, but we'll get back to those later. Then in the main event tonight, I'm sure this will be a great match because these two are just awesome and just two of the greats of all time in wrestling. And in the main event, it's going to be Randy Macho Man Savage with Miss Elizabeth taking on Diamond Dallas Page with Kimberly in his corner in a Falls Count Anywhere match. I think it's going to be pretty good.
I think it's absolutely going to be the match of the night. I'm calling it now.
This sounds like a good card, actually, on paper here. Pretty good, I think. Let's see. Maybe they'll surprise me and it'll be terrible, but I don't think so.
I gotcha.
I'm holding out faith. I'm going to be positive here.
Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
Praise Jesus. I'm going to say that this is going to be a good one. Let's see what you guys think when we get into it. All right. So once again, head on over to Peacock if you want to watch with us. 1 hour, 33 minutes is the timestamp that we're on. I can't wait to hear some of the commentary and questions out there. So fire them out throughout the show tonight and whatever you got. If you're on live with us, if you're not, come join us live one night. If you're checking us out later on. All right, Martin, you ready to go, my friend?
I'm ready to go, baby. Let's rock and roll.
All right, we're going to go in 3, 2, 1. Let's hit that now. All right. We got coming out first.
All right, so we had it was Medusa limping out of the ring because her career's over, John. Do you think she'll ever recover from this?
Hold on, I got to throw that up there, right there. I think she'll recover just fine. Did you hear Tony just call Bobby a lowlife?
Yes. Oh, my God, yes. Do you know what this means? It means 4 more beers.
Yep. Oh, boy.
Look at this
fucking crowd. Wow.
Well, some of those kids are Lee Marshalls. So
they might be. Daniel, do you think Miss NWO is out there in this crowd tonight in Moline?
I don't know, man.
Daniel's had a Miss NWO poster in his room as a kid. He told me
he has actually, and like that poster stuck to the wall, and it wasn't with tape.
Yeah.
So
Daniel says 4 more beers for each segment.
There you go.
Here comes the toughest son of a gun in the history of wrestling, according to just about everybody that will ever say it.
Say it like Santino, some of my gun.
Some of my gun. Here he comes. Why couldn't Meng have come out during the freaking Public Enemy and just Tongan death grip them?
Jesus Christ. That would have been outstanding. This is going to be either Bull and Shoe ugly or it's actually going to be fun to watch.
One or the other. I think it's going to be fun to watch. Daniel says she's really out there. She's being circled around out there.
What is it? She's being circled like
Benoit right at him right off the bat.
Good
Jesus.
God.
This is going to be a stiff match between these two right here, Chris. Let's just be honest. These two are going to beat the snot out of each other.
Oh, God, yeah.
Benoit, man, he worked real snug in that ring, Chris.
He did. Jesus Christ. But he was so good at making it look real, man.
Oh, he sure was.
And the thing is that speaking of decent workers, which I've been on a wrestler YouTube kick lately. Maven's like my main one lately. Me and John, we really like. So make sure to check out Maven Huffman's page. A lot of excellent content, but also I know you're going to scratch your head at this, but Stevie Richards.
I watched the video you sent me today. It's a little long, but it was good.
Yes, I love it how Stevie breaks down everything. Like
I'm
the
happy
moves.
He's got a nice channel growing for himself there.
I do too.
I'm happy for him. He seems like a real jam up guy in all seriousness.
Oh yeah.
Meng is freaking strong, man. He just picked up a 235-pound guy like he was a freaking child.
I know.
Jeez. He literally picked him up with one arm, Chris.
I know. Let me, don't you make me bend you over my knee and spank you.
That's about what he would be saying.
A Tongan death spank.
Imagine if like your kids were in school and the teacher was a real asshole and called like a parent-teacher conference, and Meng was the fucking parent that came in when the teacher's trying to knock that kid for what he was doing. Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. I think it's not going to work out too well for him.
Oh, Jeremy has his top 5 from the from his favorite theme songs because we did the list on Saturday.
Let's see. Great Muda NWA. Sandman, Enter Sandman, great pick right there, by the way. Cult of Personality, great pick. And the Stone Cold Steve Austin Disturbed version, another great pick.
I agree.
All good ones right there. I don't remember the Muda's music too much. I'd have to go back and listen to that, Jeremy. So I don't remember his too much. A little bit.
And this Saturday and Sunday, me and John, we're gonna have some fun topics to talk about. We're gonna be bringing up a certain lady of wrestling. We're gonna be talking about certain comments by Tony Khan. I mean, it's gonna be some people might be upset with what we're gonna talk about, but by God, it's gonna be some entertaining shows coming up. Wouldn't you say, John?
It's gonna be very entertaining. Daniel said Meng practiced picking up people with one arm on Ice Train. Once he did that, he could take over the world. Yes.
Speaking of Ice Train, he's always had Mr. Ice Train always has an open invitation to come on our show. Just saying that. I love
like
Ice Train.
He
is.
He seems like a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
He does. He seems like a nice guy.
So yes.
So with Meng, with Haku, whatever you want to call him, people give him a lot of shit for his in-ring work. He wasn't a bad worker at all.
No,
he could not at all. He played his gimmick so well, Chris.
I agree 1,000%. The first time that I noticed Meng, it was whenever he was in a tag team with Andre the Giant.
Yeah, the Colossal Connection.
Yes, and I thought they were a fantastic tag team together. But also, Meng hid Mr. Andre's his deficiencies because Andre wasn't in the greatest of health. But they were a believable badass tag team.
Yeah, they were good. They were good during that time frame for sure. I think they broke up at WrestleMania 6, I think it was. So
yes.
Yeah, I think it was WrestleMania 6. Jeremy said meant to put FTR, AEW at number 4, but Muda twice.
Okay, I'm sorry. I love the
check out
FTR
our TikTok page. Chris put up a video with the FTR and that music over there. Jeremy.
Yes. Yeah, it's a nice
for our TikTok page.
Me and John, we've decided to start a TikTok. So like it's we recommend
I'm having fun with it.
Oh yeah.
I don't like social media, as you know, and as I always say on the show here, I don't go on social media, but for Facebook. Yep. And I really enjoy TikTok. It's actually pretty fun. It's the videos fun. And stuff, and it's fun to just do your thing there.
And so you can search us Retro Wrestling Revival on TikTok.
Yeah,
like, share, and subscribe.
We just started it last week, so we're going to be growing it slowly. So get on out there and give it a follow.
We got, I think, like 17 followers so far, which I'm happy with.
We're getting there. We're getting some decent hits over there, and we'll grow it over time. It'll be fun. It's fun to make those videos. It's super, super easy too. And, if you like the FTR, Jeremy, we're going to talk about the FTR and Cash Wheeler on the radio show this weekend as well, too, and that whole incident. So we're going to discuss that for sure. As
a quick preview, do you think FTR will be at All In?
Man, I don't even know. Probably. Okay. I hope, probably. So he's got to get permission to leave the country, I'm sure now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Look, we forgot to mention who's in the ring here. Greatness. The other man with a mustache that's as good as they come, with the one and only Nick Patrick.
Oh,
the greatest referee in the history of
WCW. Wrestling. I agree.
Yeah, professional wrestling, smart ass.
Earl Hebner.
Yeah, right.
You damn right he did.
The only good thing Earl ever did was make sure that Brad Attitude got a fair shake in that title match over in AMW. That's the only thing he did good.
Okay.
Oh, so, Jeremy says permission has been granted from. All right, so that answers your question right there, Chris. You said that permission was granted for him to travel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm sure he will be there. Hey, who knows what happened with the situation? Innocent until proven guilty in this country is the way it should be. Unfortunately, everybody says, it's normally now though guilty until proven innocent.
Yep, which is unfortunate because once you make an accusation on somebody, they're automatically guilty.
Daniel makes a very good point right here. He says WCW only trusted Nick with Meng matches because they knew Meng wouldn't get out of control with Nick.
It's that mustache.
No, it's just Nick's an intimidating guy, man.
He is.
He's an intimidating cat right there. Even Meng, he knows not to mess with the legend of Nick Patrick.
And Nick Patrick is actually, for the fans out there that don't know this, he was a trained wrestler too. So
he is, and he trains wrestlers now in his own wrestling promotion in the Georgia area where you live, Jeremy. He lives in Deep South Wrestling. He runs indie shows out there for his Deep South Wrestling brand, which his dad created years ago.
But all seriousness, I do hope and pray that Nick has immense success with Deep South.
He's a wonderful person, man.
He is.
I'm friends with him on Facebook, and you see all the nice posts that he does. I mean, I don't know him well or anything like that. I've had a couple conversations with him here and there. He takes care of his son. He calls him Big Nick, and I believe he's got a disability. I think it's autism, and he gets him incorporated with everything. He's a tremendous father. You can see to his son. He's passionate about what he does with the young wrestlers, helping them out, following his father's legacy. He's always doing things for his mom. You can see, just seems like a real nice guy. In all seriousness, I know we make jokes on the show about things, and we're just having fun, but he seems like a really cool dude. I've always said I'd love to have him on the show. I have to hit him up one day.
Oh yeah, and Deep South Wrestling at one time was one of the main developmental territories for the WWE.
Yep. Okay, Chris. This is a death match, but this really isn't a death match style. This is a fun match between these two, but like I'm thinking death match like Terry Funk and Cactus Jack and stuff like that. But this is like a last man standing match more so.
You just read my mind. Yeah, I see it as last man standing. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, Jerry said he's got one here. We have our first disagreement, and that is the best ref in wrestling. Who do you got? Who do you thinking, Jeremy? Give me it. Is it Mike Chioda?
Mike Chioda's great.
If you say Mike Chioda, I'd be super.
Brad Maddox.
Brad Maddox. Wow.
There you go.
If you say Mike Chioda, I wouldn't argue how great Mike Chioda is. And I've met Mike Chioda a bunch of times. He's great. Yeah. Tommy Young. Tommy Young is a great referee.
Okay, I'll give you that.
It's a shame he didn't have longer out there in the business. For he had a great career, but they kind of fizzled him out at some point. Tommy Young was great.
It was fantastic.
Daniel says they only use the word death match because they're so used to people dying of boredom with Benoit and Sullivan.
Oh, that's sad.
Next month, we're finally going to get the end of this feud between Sullivan and Benoit, and it's a retirement match between them. And
are you serious? They fight again?
They fight one last time. Next month at Bash of the Beach will be last time we'll ever see it.
Dear Lord, baby Jesus. The last time we see him. Okay.
And I want to give a programming note really fast here. So next week is going to be our last live show for about a week or two. So I'm having a massive surgery done on September 5th. And unfortunately, I'm not going to get on camera for a few weeks, probably a week or two at least. I got a long road to recovery from this surgery. It's a really serious surgery. And I'm not going to be on camera much. We're still going to be doing the radio show, but I just don't want to get on camera because I'm not going to be looking real well for a little bit. And I'm not going to be in good shape. So I wanted to throw that out there. So we're going to be off for about a week or two. Next week we'll be here, but the week after, and maybe the week after that, we might not be. So 1 or 2 weeks off, but
the radio show will be there.
100%. Radio show will be there, but God willing, I'll be back after a week or so, and I can get on camera as long as I'm feeling okay. But I just wanted to throw it out there. I don't want to let anybody down. I didn't disappear. I didn't die. None of that stuff. I just have to take a week or so off.
Well, I mean, because God knows me and you know about rumors.
Oh, the rumor mill. Yeah. But hey, I'll be back and better than ever in just a few weeks. But we're still got the radio stuff going on. I just don't want to get on camera.
I mean, heck, you literally had people contact you asking if you were dead before.
Jesus.
So yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Tommy Young in the ring pre-match. You knew you were in for a classic. Yeah, Tommy Young was a great referee in the WCW and WA days. Jeremy, he's a forgotten one that a lot of people forget. And, Conrad Thompson, he can thank Conrad Thompson a lot for bringing him into relevance with the Tommy Young jokes and talking about his matches in NWA and all the stuff that they do. And Shivani always puts him over too. How good he was. Everybody puts over Tommy Young, who's ever been in there with him as a great referee. He's another one up there with Nick Patrick's and the Hebners. He's just class acts and Kyotos and all the other ones.
Now, do you think that Mr. Conrad Thompson will make his own company?
No.
You don't think so?
Nope. Conrad's got a lot of money guaranteed. I don't think he's got that type of money though. And I don't think he has the passion to do all that. So
because I know he's a millionaire.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not about that.
But he's nowhere near like a Tony Khan or a Vince McMahon.
A millionaire ain't shit if you're going to start your own promotion and really try to make it profitable.
Yeah.
It's not going to do dick for you just being a millionaire. You better have hundreds of millions and be an investor. Tony Khan, they don't have to disclose their earnings or anything like that, but I can't imagine he's making money on that yet.
No.
I can't. People give him a ration of crap. That guy spares no expense. And that's the facts, folks. He spares no expense. He puts on a hell of a production for a show.
He does.
And people say what you want about AEW. That guy puts. I know that the millions he spends, Chris, is nothing to him because he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
He gives a shit, man. And he puts a product out there with the best production that you can do. And
sometimes I can honestly say from my experience, Tony truly gives a shit when it comes to making the fans happy. He tries his best.
I agree with you. I think he definitely does too. Crippler crossface, Chris, one of my favorite finishers and submission moves. What about you?
Oh man, excellent! I absolutely love it. How many times did you put that on your friends growing up?
Just a few. Just a few. We would definitely do that one. Just a few. It was one of our favorite submission moves to do.
Oh god,
we would have a little backyard wrestling.
Dragon screw.
Yeah, dragon screw leg whip there on him.
This is a decent match. It's not.
Yeah, this isn't bad at all. These are two brawlers, and Benoit is a good technical wrestler too. Tremendous. One of the best. And big styles clash here. But you know what I always liked about Benoit, Chris? He could really wrestle to anybody's style and have a really good match.
I agree. He which I see him, Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, and Daniel Bryan. I put them all in that same category. Like they can adapt to any style.
What about Kurt Hennig?
You know what? Yes, I'll give Kurt that too.
Yeah, I think he could.
And but I would say like the greatest to ever do it with adapting, I would say is Bret Hart.
I would agree.
So,
I think Bret's probably the best technical wrestler of all time. You got to throw in Benoit. You got to throw in Kurt Angle. Shawn Michaels in there.
Yeah.
Different style, but
yeah.
He's not your mat wrestler like them, but one hell of a performer.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, you could go down the list though of great technical wrestlers. I would rank Bret at the top.
One of the best modern technical wrestlers, Chad Gable. And
he's great. He beat Gunther tonight.
He did. Good for him. I hope that leads to a massive push. He deserves it.
Daniel's going to say, I think the best ever adapt, the one and the only, the Maestro.
The Maestro, my friend. Yes.
What a stupid character that was.
Oh, God. It was him and Ryan Shamrock. Wait, hold on. What?
Wow. He got Meng to tap.
So,
look at that. But I thought it was a 10 count, though.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, maybe in a death match you can tap out. I don't know. I mean, you would think fighting to the death, so to speak. Oh, he's calling out was he calling out the meat wagon here?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let's see right here. Jeremy says, I would like to know how much TK spent on rights to some of the songs, especially Wayward Son that the Elite uses and the Wild Thing for Moxley. God, he's got to be dishing out big bucks, Jeremy. Big bucks.
Elton John every single Saturday. And Elton is one of the most successful musicians in history. So, yeah.
Yeah, that stuff doesn't come cheap.
No.
Even like Beethoven stuff that he put out for Jack Perry, whoever owns the rights to that isn't putting that out cheap.
No. And yeah, like with Jack Perry, I'm starting to give him more of a chance. So
Daniel says Meng just wanted out of this feud.
Oh yeah, he did.
He's ready to be done. Well, they had a couple of good matches though. That wasn't a bad match at all. They beat
No.
each other up pretty good in that one. You know what I liked, Chris?
What's that?
Right from the start, I liked how Benoit didn't even wait till the bell rang till he got in the ring, and he just tope suicided right out there on him.
Tope suicida, man. He just beat the living piss out of him.
Are they taking Benoit out on a stretcher here?
Yes.
All right, he's not going out on the stretcher, I don't think. Or is Sullivan going to come out and attack him here?
He's going to push him over.
Probably. He's going to roll him off the stage.
Or do you think it's going to be like a Big Show Rey Mysterio situation with the stretcher?
That was pretty funny, though, when he swung it into the side pole.
Do you think Sullivan could lift him up?
No. I definitely don't think that could happen. I'm sure Kevin's a strong son of a gun, but I don't think he could do that.
No.
They're acting like Meng is dead here. Listen, this guy's been maced by like 8 cops at once. He's fought a whole bar by himself. Do you think the crippler crossface really put Meng down like that?
Yes. Yes, I think it did, actually, man.
I bet you Meng would, if in real life, just would have stood up if he tried to put the crossface on him and just walked around with him. Dropped him on his fucking head.
It's like, come on, man.
But, this is a good ending for a reason how they do this with Meng going out like this, because everybody looked in WCW as Meng as this badass tough guy. Everybody knew it. I'm not saying they thought Meng was always going to win all the time because that wasn't his role all the time. But no matter what, no matter how many times Meng lost, he always was a badass, in WCW, and somebody that would always fight and people feared and was a tough son of a bitch and all that. So this is a good feather in the cap for Benoit to look good that, here's Meng laid out like this.
Oh, yeah, and he put him over, so that's a good thing as well. And it's sad that Benoit, his first world championship, was given to him hoping that he wouldn't leave the company.
What did it last, a day?
Yes, one day.
What a bad idea that was.
Sullivan, who was booking at the time, and this was in February of 2000, thought, well, if I give him the world title, then he'll stay.
Stick around. It's not happening.
Nope. And I think Benoit made a smart decision going to the WWE.
I think it worked out well for his career, at least on that portion right there. So,
and Shane Douglas thought that he was going to go with the rest of the crew. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Let's see. Daniel said Benoit definitely got the rub, but thankfully we get the next Sullivan match.
Oh God!
Thankfully we get the last one. Let's see. Jeremy says, I know this is a sensitive conversation with Benoit family situation, steroid rage, CT, or depression from losing Eddie. Jeremy, we've talked about it a bunch over the years. We don't ever shy away from, Chris as the wrestler. And we put the wrestling over portion because that's the way we look at it. We don't condone what he did. But with this situation, I think it's a factor from probably all of those things that you just mentioned right there. Steroids, CT, depression, maybe substance abuse issues. I mean, there was a ton of stuff in there. I mean, that's my opinion. I think it's just all of those factors thrown into the awful situation. Would you agree with that, Chris?
I agree 1,000%. I think it was brain damage. I think it was steroid use. And I think ultimately it was depression. And the thing is that some people might think I'm nuts for saying this, but the thing is that, yes, I do believe that you have like your soulmate that you're married to. Okay. I'm a firm believer in that. But I also believe that you have that person, friend-wise, that you're so close with that if you lose them, you feel like you lose a part of who you are. And I feel like for Benoit, that was Eddie. And I feel like once Eddie passed, he just wasn't the same. And that led to just a downward spiral that ultimately led to that horrible evening.
Scientifically, they said his brain was at the damage level and the development of, I think, an 85-year-old.
Yes.
Something to the extent of that. That's a big factor right there. So that
factors in, and that's a huge factor in your behavior patterns as well.
I don't know how much he remembered at that point in time, though, probably with the dementia from the CTE kicking in and how it just warped his brain was on everything.
Head trauma could affect that too.
So yeah.
Hear me?
Yeah.
Your emotions.
Oh yeah, baby, like CTE.
Yeah, that can really affect that.
How many nights did he use that friggin' headbutt dive? He used it every night, Jeremy. And that's the thing is, the guy had no off switch in how he wrestled. And, he had zero off switch on how he wrestled at all. And it's just one of those things. You can't take that many shots to the head and over again, the stiff shots with the chairs, the headbutts, the crazy matches. The guy always went balls to the wall and took those stiff shots to his head.
Yeah.
There's no way he couldn't have messed his brain up. Like, it's insane to think about how long he did that for and how long he wrestled that style. And that's my opinion, though. What do you think?
I agree like 1000%. His style was extremely reckless, very entertaining, and like a lot of memories he made with that, but ultimately it cost him in the end. And that's why I look at modern wrestlers that go balls to the wall. And it really scares me because not only will it shorten their career, but you think about the after effects. Like, with all due respect, I love the cleaner, Mr. Kenny Omega. I love him to death. I think he's one of the best wrestlers in the whole entire world. But like with his style being balls to the walls, you can't tell me that he quite possibly wouldn't have CTE going down the road because of how physical his style is. But then you look at the wrestlers like The Miz and Mr. LA Knight, and they're less likely to because they're a lot safer in the ring. So just saying.
Jeremy said on Dark Side, they said he had a minimum of 35 concussions.
Oh my goodness.
It's insane, man. I mean, anybody that's ever been concussed before or had multiple ones could tell you it's an awful feeling. I've had a ton as well through the years. It sucks. It's an awful feeling. And 35, I mean, you're a walking vegetable at that point, basically, with as many shots as you take there. Here comes Mongo, though, Chris. Throw out a little plug for Mongo here and, everything that's going on for Mr. McMichael.
All right. You guys can support Mr. Mongo McMichaels at obliviousshirts.com/collection/Team Mongo. Every single thing bought, 100% of the proceeds will be donated to Mongo and his wife Misty to help fight ALS, the fight of his life. So please go to obliviousshirts.com/collection/Team Mongo and buy a shirt today and show your support.
There you go.
Okay.
Well said, my friend. Get out there and help out. All right, now here comes Kevin Greene, and he has run into the ring.
Dude, he's mean.
I thought when I heard the the drums there, I thought we were getting JR's music there from my alma mater of Oklahoma. That's where I graduated from my master's degree, right, Chris? I'm a Sooner too. Yeah.
Boomer Sooner.
Boomer Sooner. I love their school fight music that JR comes out to.
Did Jim Ross do your graduation speech?
No, I wish. That would have been the greatest one in the world. I didn't even go to my graduation.
What?
No, fucking no. I've only been to my high school graduation. I went for one of my undergraduate degrees, and the only reason I went to it was because they made you. You had to go.
Oh wow.
So, yeah. The other degrees that I got, the other 2 degrees afterwards for my graduate and other undergraduate one, I didn't go to. So,
what is it that like they just mailed you the degrees?
Yeah, they'll just mail them to you. I didn't have any urge to go.
Okay. Well, like my high school one, like they gave me the option. They said you can either have a military or you can go, and there's a family tradition to where as soon as we get our diplomas, we give them straight to my mom.
All right.
Just to say thank you for getting me here. So like my brother, he gave her his diploma, and then I followed suit a few years later. And the thing is that that's the only reason why I chose to go, was to give it to my mom in person.
Well, these two are beating the shit out of each other. Daniel says graduation present of JR's barbecue sauce. That'd be
that'd be awesome.
I want to try some of that spicy mustard he's got going on.
I have not tried any of his stuff yet, honestly.
Have you? I've tried a few things. He has a ketchup that I tried a few years back.
Really?
It was really good. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't remember the exact blend was, but it was a really good ketchup, and his barbecue sauce is fantastic, by the way. So plug for JR stuff. It's really good. If you've never tried it, go on over to his site. Maybe I'll go order some this week, actually.
There you go. And Mr. Jim Ross, if you want us to sponsor your product, we will gladly put you over. Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
jrsbarbecue.com. Anyways, but speaking of ketchup, I cannot go against my hometown ketchup, which I'm from Pittsburgh. So Heinz, baby. Heinz all the way.
Jeremy says, Johnny, your Mets got payback on Atlanta tonight. Jeremy, there's no payback that could even do us any justice for how bad you all have destroyed us all year long and for many years before that. We could blow you out 100-1 the next 3 games, and it still wouldn't even equate to how bad you guys have crushed us and owned us. But I'm glad we did win tonight. By the way, they have no quit in them, at least at the end. So,
yeah.
And thank you, Ken Royce. It's good work. I do a podcast on Facebook. I love podcasts. What you doing? We're doing a wrestling one here, Ken Roy, on Great American Bash 1997 Part 2. Thanks for coming out.
And for. So, yeah.
Boy, these two have, Chris, real quick. Mongo has come so far in the last year.
He has. Outstanding.
Kevin Greene, he looks like he's done this a bunch of times.
Just imagine if he was able to do it full time.
I know he's a little stiff, of course, here for Kevin Greene's sake here, but this guy was just a tremendous athlete.
I agree.
He's good.
Speaking of Pittsburgh, Mr. Kevin Greene, a Steelers legend. So yes,
that was his long time one, right? And I know he went to the Panthers later on, of course, and the Packers, if I remember. But
and
Steelers was his bread and butter.
The Rams, the Steelers, the Panthers, and I think the Packers. Yeah. So
and Mongo was no friggin' slouch either. That guy should be in the Hall of Fame easy.
He is I believe it's a semifinalist right now. So God, dude, I hope Mongo gets it before he passes. And I don't want Mongo to pass, okay? Don't think I do, guys. But like with the condition that he's in, the likelihood of him surviving a few more years, slim to none. Yeah. And I'm not saying that it's not possible. It's just with modern medicine,
There's no cure for it, unfortunately, right now, and it's a terrible thing to see. I just hope he's comfortable in the last few years, the last times of it, whatever. I don't want to be morbid about it, but we know the inevitable.
But we love Mongo, we do.
Daniel says Mongo needs to be in the Hall of Fame. He absolutely does. There's no reason why he shouldn't be. The guy, it's a travesty sometimes with the Hall of Fame why certain people don't get in. And I'm not saying that because Mongo's sick right now and we like wrestling and
it's just what he's done for the world of football.
The guy was a legend. One of the scariest defenders of all time, Mongo was. The guy was a savage.
I know.
Jeremy says, Heinz ketchup is good, Brother Mark, but I tried Whataburger for the first time this year, and their spicy ketchup is on another level. Chris, have you ever tried Whataburger?
I have not.
Oh, my God, you're missing out. Anybody that's never tried Whataburger, I lived in Oklahoma and Texas for, I think, about a combined between the two, about 7 or 8 years of my life as an adult. We had Whataburgers. Whataburgers was always my go-to spot when I saw a place. They have the best hamburgers. Jeremy's exactly right. Their condiments, everything they do there. Their French fries are good. Their milkshakes, everything. If you all see a Whataburger, and there's a lot of them in the Midwest and on that side of the country, you got to try it.
So is it similar to like a Cookout over here?
It's a burger joint.
Okay. But we have Wahlburgers here, which is really good.
Yeah, they're not bad. A little expensive, but good.
Okay.
Jeremy said we just got 2 in Georgia. Man, you're lucky, Jeremy. They're good. I wish they made their way up to New York.
Oh, dude! Speaking of great stores, we're finally getting 7-Elevens here.
You don't have 7-Elevens?
We finally got like 2 so far.
Wow, they're great. I love 7-Eleven.
Dude, I love them.
We're loaded up here with them.
They're like my second favorite gas station. Like my first is Sheetz. But
Sheetz is great. Wawa, I think, is better, though.
You think Wawa's better than Sheetz?
I love Wawa.
You know good son of a bitch.
You think that 7-Eleven was better than Refuel we went to?
Yes.
What?
Yeah. Maybe like we'll talk about it later. All right. But yeah. So yeah. But no, it's just Yes.
I don't know that other one you were talking about.
There was more to choose from at the other one.
Okay, but
does he have a Refuel up there?
I have no idea.
Ask him.
Baby.
No, we don't.
No.
No, we don't.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have them.
But no, just And speaking of things like you're speaking about your Mets, man. I'm hoping my Orioles, they can go to the World Series this year. I think we got a really good shot. I can't believe I'm actually saying that.
You do. You got a very good shot. I think the World Series will be Atlanta and the Orioles. That's my opinion,
brother. Every team that I support has won a championship in my lifetime, except the Orioles. So
might be your year, dude. It might be your year.
Straight up, God. I'm not asking for 15 of them. I just want one. You just give me one.
I don't blame you. You got a good shot this year. That's for sure.
Hey, you've experienced one within your lifetime.
I did in '86, but I was 4 years old, so it's not like I remembered any of it or knew about it at the time. So technically, in my lifetime, I did, but I never got to really experience. Every World Series for me has been a letdown.
Oh yeah,
so it's been just an awful reminder of how awful it is to be a Mets fan.
Was the year 2000 probably the worst?
That was a hard pill to swallow because we lost to the Yankees.
Yeah,
2015 was real hard for me with the Royals. They were a really good team that year. The Royals were, but watching all the games, and I did, of course. I watched every game, and they were just stupid mistakes that cost us last, minute hits, bullshit. It was a great series, but we didn't do it.
I think. And that was the year that the Royals beat the Orioles in the American League Championship Series. So I remember.
Royals had a hell of a run that year.
They did.
Greene's really, he's really given it his all here, but this match doesn't have a lot of emotion to it, even though they built this up pretty good and you figure it would. The crowd's not really into this one.
No, they're not.
It's not bad. I'm just not into it as much.
No, like they're doing good.
Yeah, they're doing good. It's just, I don't know. It lacks a little bit of excitement here. Here's Jarrett with the briefcase.
Jarrett,
Longo got smacked.
Jarrett, he came in late because he was with Miss NWO.
And here comes Debra walking out with Jarrett. Was this intentional, Chris?
I don't know. No, it couldn't be. Jarrett's a stand-up guy, man.
Debra's chasing him off and is angry, though. All right, thank you. 37 years for a UGA one, and now you've had a bunch of them, Jeremy. Yeah. So it's been a good run for you guys.
My Miami Hurricanes, we haven't won shit in, 22 years.
Daniel feels our pain out there, too, as a Bills fan. Think about how bad that was for him. 4 straight years.
Yeah, and now Josh Allen's on the cover of Madden, like the Madden curse. I don't think the Bills are going to do it this year.
I think they got a good shot.
Yeah, man. I'm going to be straight up. I think this is going to be the year of Baltimore.
You're fucking crazy.
Baseball and football, baby. I'm sorry. I got to say, dude, we just signed. Hey.
Lamar got his payday. That fucking lazy bitch is going to sit over there. He'll be out in 6 games. He'll be out for the rest of the season with a hangnail.
Hey,
you're on the hook for him for $257 million or whatever it is.
We got Tyler Huntley too. What now?
Oh yeah, booyah! Tyler Huntley is going to be
Pro Bowler. Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, he was a Pro Bowler, all right. What a fucking shit show that was last year. Nobody even wanted to go to the Pro Bowl. They all denied him.
I know. Well, yeah, basically he went because they were desperate for people to go.
Pretty much.
And the Ravens, we signed a solid veteran. We just signed Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah, that was a good pickup by you guys. I saw that this weekend.
And I think that's a good replacement for Justin Houston, which he left and he signed with Carolina. So, oh my God, what? Her knee.
She's hurt, man. Leave her alone. She's hurt. Daniel says, I'd rather be on a Madden cover than on the bench like Lamar gets by the end of the year.
Wow.
We're throwing that
straight up. We'll see come playoff time, buddy.
You got to be smoking that same shit that Missy Beefcake is smoking if you think they're going to go to the world's, win the Super Bowl this year, win the world championship.
Straight up, no one thought the Orioles would do it.
I told you right from the beginning of the season. What did I tell you?
What that if the O's play up to their potential, they are a guaranteed playoff team.
Yep, 100%. I said it even before the season, and people said I was crazy. They said, you're. I said, no. I said, this is the sleeper team of the AL. If they play their potential, guaranteed they're going to be in the playoffs. If they really play their potential, they're a guaranteed contender for the series.
And I guarantee you we're going to be competing for the World Series for at least the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So
Jeremy said Bengals versus Eagles, Super Bowl, fly, Eagles fan. All right. Yes, Eagles fan. They have an autism foundation. Your oldest son is 7, and he is autistic nonverbal. Hey, it's a great reason to support him.
That's 100%.
True. They do a lot for the community and everything like that.
And the Ravens, they support kids with cancer as well. So just saying.
That's what I like about the professional teams that are out there that, really give back to their community. And I'm sure a lot of them, almost all of them do. But I think it's a wonderful thing to see when you see these teams and these organizations. And, let's be realistic. Everybody craps on Vince McMahon and the WWE. Is there a bigger supporter of charities than Vince McMahon and the WWE through the years?
No. Especially veterans.
Yeah. Everything, just tons of stuff. Here comes the coolest guys in professional wrestling history to me right here.
Hey, y'all. But I am going to say this, and I'm going to toss this up to Daniel. There are no group of fans in football that are more giving than the Buffalo Bills fans. Every single time there's a major thing that happens, the Bills are normally the fans that donate the most. As crazy as that sounds. So, yeah.
Daniel has a great one here. Vince donated $20 million to charity. She was well serviced.
She was. Yes.
I like the Ravens. Smith and Ben Cleveland are good dudes. All right. So you got a little backup there for you, Jeremy.
Roquan Smith, the best linebacker in football. Thank you. Yeah. You can't argue that, can you? Exactly.
You really think he's the best?
Yes, without a shadow of a doubt.
Okay, what makes you think that?
Whenever it comes to statistics, when it comes to freaking being a leader, whenever it comes to you look at the turnaround that the Ravens had last year as soon as he got on that team, man, it just outstanding player overall. I think Roquan is the best linebacker we've had since Ray Lewis.
What about Bobby Wagner?
Bobby Wagner's fantastic. I think he's great, but I don't think he's back to but I think he's on the downside of his career instead of the peak. But I would say Bobby's up there.
He's got 1,213 tackles of all, that he does with Bobby Wagner. That's an insane amount. What about Fred Warner?
Fred Warner's fantastic.
He's real damn good. Eric Kendricks over in Minnesota is pretty damn good.
Outstanding. And mark my words, if this one guy would not have retired early, he would have gone down as probably the greatest linebacker of all time. And I'm speaking of Mr. Patrick Willis.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he was on that trajectory to be one of the all-time greats.
Roquan's great. Is great. Don't get me wrong. He's really, really good.
Yes,
100%. He's really, really good. Top 10, top 5. I could say maybe top 5, top 10. Definitely. Yeah. It's an interesting call. Chris, take the reins just for just a 2-3 minutes here. I just gotta do my old man duties real fast.
Do you gotta poop?
No, not that. But it's a ladder on the old man. Especially I gotta drink all this shit before my surgery and stuff upcoming. Filter out my system. Yeah. I'm drinking water like it's fucking going out of style. I'll be right back. So go
clean out that old man bladder. Oh, yeah. All right. Here we go. We got the New World Order, ladies and gentlemen. We got Nash, Hall, and Mr. Six Pac versus Ric Flair and Roddy Piper. And I got to say this, man, the crowd is going banana right now. They are loud. They are proud. This is probably the loudest I've heard. This is the loudest I've heard the crowd all night. Once again, me and John, we're not the biggest fans of Piper and Flair at this point, but you can't deny the fact that they got results, they got reactions, man. So here we go. Wolfpack style. Mr. Jeremy said, didn't he lead the league in tackles last year? Yes, he did, actually. I believe he did. Here we go. And the marks are getting loud in the mark. You damn right they're getting loud in the mark, man. And Mark Madden and Marky Mark, they're doing signings after the show. Oh, God. Woo! Jeremy says that he loved it every single time that Flair and Piper tagged. I agree. They had a true friendship inside and outside of the ring. Actually, there is a show called Wife Swap, and there was an episode with Ric Flair and Roddy Piper. I think it was Fifi, Flair's current wife, with who switched with Roddy Piper's wife, who was his first and only wife. Good episode. So yeah, I love. Oh, good God, Kevin Nash, boot to the face. And Hall saying, "How dare you, you idiot? What's wrong with you? You walking in there? 1, 2, oh, kicks up." All right, so here we go. Daniel Flair invented the term wife swap. Woo! Yes. Good show. Oh, man. Flair, back chop. Woo! Woo! 6. What part is 6 going to play on the outside? Is that one-man advantage going to help the NWO tonight? We got referee Mark Curtis, and now Hall's pointing to Nash, Big Sexy, and let's see what he can do. Many people consider Kevin Nash the greatest big man in the history of the business. I tend to put him up there, top 5 all time. A lot of people might not like him. They might not like certain things, especially when it came to his politics, but you got to admit Nash is a big reason why every single wrestler after him got guaranteed contracts. Him and Scott Hall. I think that's going to be one of his lasting legacies within the business, and I think it's for the better. Because this is the thing, man, especially like with wrestling, like you can easily get hurt on the smallest, most minute little thing. So you can have like that guaranteed deal, which includes like a downside guarantee, which means you get like the base minimum of your agreement, like with the contract, or the more dates you work, like the more money you can get like with bonuses. So even with like the downside, even if you're hurt with that guarantee, you're guaranteed to have money coming in. I encourage every single person to go to Maven Huffman's YouTube page, Maven, the first ever Tough Enough winner, and check out his video on making money within like the wrestling business and how downside guarantees work and how like the fundamentals of how like the WWE pay structure used to be. So it's a really, really good YouTube page, guys. Check it out. Look up Maven Huffman. Here we go. Daniel said, Flair and Piper as a team never did anything for me. Each against each other in promos, but for sure, not together. I agree. I think they had great chemistry together, but ultimately they never tickled my fancy. Okay, so Mr. Jeremy said, I'm a big Piper fan. Piper versus Valentine Dog Collar match is top 10 ever. I'll die on that hill to defend it. Oh, Jeremy, if you, me, Daniel, and John, we don't doubt the fact that Greg Valentine has made many contributions to the wrestling business, but we still think he's a miserable son of a bitch. So, yeah. Speaking of the first Tough Enough, where is Nydia? That is a really good point. I wouldn't be surprised if Nydia is she's enjoying her life. She's got a beautiful family, and she's working a steady job. I would not doubt that at all because, like, I don't think she's involved in the wrestling business anymore. That is one of the weakest sleepers I've ever seen. Oh! The family jewels meet the rope baby. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Come on. Uh-oh. Mark Curtis. Oh god. Okay, so we got Hall and Piper. They're on the ground. Piper's grabbing his nuts because they got squished by the ropes. Hall's just he's pulling it. He's pulling a 2022 Ric Flair. He just passed out in the ring. Jeremy said in West Virginia with Jamie Noble. Yeah, I can see that, and the trailer, and the trailer park. Oh god! Oh, dude, the crowd is going bananas right now. Flair is chopping the living shit out of Six, and just punch. Yeah. Oh, good god. He's trying to boot Six out of the match. But this is the thing, guys. You're left with a 2-1 advantage. Flair, you kind of might have screwed the pooch on this one. So let's see. Can Piper overcome this 2-on-1 advantage, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, and Piper kicks out. A deep 2 count. Oh, here we go.
Can he overcome the odds, Chris? What do you think?
I don't know, man. Maybe he can. Which I was talking about one of Nash's lasting legacies within the business, and I think his biggest legacy, besides the NWO and being one of the greatest big men of all time, is the guaranteed contracts, which benefits every single wrestler out there right now. And I put over Maven's YouTube page because Maven perfectly explains the way those guaranteed contracts work.
Yep.
Because at least like that downside guarantee, no matter what happens, you're getting it for the whole time, especially if you get hurt. Which back in the day, man, if you couldn't wrestle, then you're getting fired.
It was a lifesaver for them.
Oh, yeah, I agree. And why do people give Nash so much shit, though?
It's an easy thing to do from some of the modern fans because he wasn't the greatest in-ring worker. He didn't have to be.
No.
He didn't have to be at all. Look at Hall slapping the shit out of Piper in the back of the head.
Well, it's like me and you always say: 5-star matches don't make long-term money. And the thing is that I guarantee you, Hall and Nash in their modern prime, they could outsell ticket-wise any modern wrestler right now, with the exception, I would say, of Roman Reigns. Or do you think that's a crazy statement for me to say?
I don't think it's crazy at all.
So yeah,
Daniel says a good point here. The more successful you get, the more hatred that comes out. Yep,
I agree, and I think it's the jealousy.
Yeah, of course. These guys are making $1 million contracts at the time, so people are going to hate on them. I mean, you can't freaking blame them. Even the guys like the old timers that come in when they make a huge payday. Like look at Goldberg, for example.
I don't blame him.
Goldberg.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him, man. He's making $3.5 million to do a couple of matches a year. Hey, who wouldn't do that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look at Edge. Edge, from what I heard, with this most recent run, signed his most lucrative contract ever.
Good for them.
And he did his least amount of matches ever.
And good for him. I think it's awesome for them. Well deserved.
Oh yeah.
Here comes the outsider's edge on Piper. It's about to be the beginning of the end.
Come on. One of the best finishers.
Yeah, I love that finisher.
Beautiful.
Daniel says they hate Nash because he's honest, and he says he does it for the cash. Yep,
that's true.
And you know what? Good for him for saying it and being honest and saying, I do it for the cash. Who goes to work every day just for the good of their health?
Of it.
Yeah, you go to make money. And if you're going to get paid a lot of money, bam. He jacked up his quad, maybe 3 or 4 times, Chris?
And still got paid.
Yeah, as Jeremy says, how many times did he jack up his quad? 3, 4 times?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a lot of injuries on his leg, too. But he was a basketball player and stuff, too.
I agree. But like with Nash, I mean, you cannot deny his legacy. He's a 2-time Hall of Famer as well.
Rightfully so. Very well deserved.
Yeah.
Now this is gonna set up Six and Flair, which will be at Bash at the Beach next month. And Dave Meltzer, as we covered it on the radio show this weekend, absolutely shits on their match that they had. I don't remember the match. I'm very interested to see if it's as bad as he said it was.
Yeah.
When it comes from Dave Meltzer, I take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. Do you read these stories with these fans claiming that All In is setting the record for the most high attended show in wrestling history? I don't know where they're getting these numbers from.
It's interesting when they do it like how it's just revisionist stuff sometimes.
Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like WrestleMania 32, that was in Texas.
Yep.
It was what, like 100,000 people?
Yep.
So yeah, and isn't that like the record holder for like the largest wrestling show ever, with the exception of the one in North Korea?
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. And then their version of Wembley they did at 82,000 people. The often debated numbers of the Silverdome as well, and for the Pontiac Silverdome, WrestleMania 3.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jeremy said the match they had at Road Wild that year is horrible. I don't remember that match at Road Wild either, Jeremy. Road Wild is probably my least favorite WCW pay-per-view that they did every year, Chris. What about you?
You know what? Yeah, that's up there. I really like Road Wild. Normally, it was a bunch of matches thrown together. I like my two favorites. I would say I loved Halloween Havoc and I love Starrcade.
Great picks. Loved them.
I would
Halloween
say
Havoc is my favorite WCW one.
I would say Havoc. Would that be like their Super Bowl, or will you say Starrcade?
Starrcade was designed to be, but I think Halloween Havoc turned out to be their biggest one of the year every year. That's what I think. They had their version, that they tried to create with things, and Starrcade was designed to be that way. But in my opinion, Halloween Havoc always got the best angles and the most build up for it. And if I recall correctly, Halloween Havoc was usually their biggest draw every year. It was an awesome paper. I always love Halloween Havoc. It's my favorite one.
I agree.
Then Starrcade. I always like the Great American Bash at the Beach too. Slamboree was usually pretty decent.
Yeah.
Super
Sold
Brawl,
out, I liked.
Yeah, sold out. They were hit or miss. Super Brawl was the same. It was hit or miss. I know they had other ones. World War III. Fall Brawl I always loved too.
Yeah, honestly, World War III, in my opinion, was just a bloated version of the Royal Rumble. I really didn't like it.
It was a terrible version of it.
Because, no offense, sometimes there is a such thing as too much of a good thing is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And 60 people in the ring at once, I'm good.
See, Jeremy said War Games and Halloween Havoc were my favorites. I love War Games, as I just mentioned with Fall Brawl. War Games, loved it. Daniel says always enjoyed Uncensored. Me too, Daniel. I really enjoyed it. Daniel, what's your favorite WCW pay-per-views that they would do? Jeremy's going with War Games and Havoc. Chris going with Starrcade and Havoc.
And Spring Stampede.
It's a fun one.
Yeah, I like Spring Stampede.
Uncensored was always the one that didn't get as much play in regards to the big players that would be on the show typically, but they always did a lot of fun angles at Uncensored to me.
Oh, they did. Here we go. Speaking of all-time greats, you talk about someone that could be considered top 5 all-time. We got the Macho Man right here. Oh, yeah.
Me and Daniel were talking about Macho Man. I think it was yesterday it might have been yesterday, the night before, we were talking about, performers. We were talking about Hogan and Hogan's legacy and stuff. If Hogan wouldn't have been around and as popular as he was, I think Macho would have been the guy that, kind of held that, had that torch that he carried around for them.
Macho would have been the biggest wrestler in the history of the business if Hogan wasn't around.
Yeah.
Bottom line. And it's kind of like you look at the era of Michael Jordan and you think to yourself, wow, there were like a lot of great players. And you had someone like Karl Malone, like he went back-to-back years facing Jordan and the finals. And the Jazz, they would have won those championships, but they ended up facing the Bulls. And it's just kind of like, just imagine if Jordan wasn't in the league, where someone like Mr. Malone, he could have gone. Just so yeah, like Macho, I see it in that same vein. I believe Macho. You know what? Would you say Macho is the second greatest of all time?
Oh, that's a hard question, but I could see an argument for it.
Okay.
I really could. I could see an argument for it, Chris. 100%. I could see I could see an argument for people with that, probably.
Or would you put it like with Bret Hart? Would you put it with Shawn? I mean, like there's a lot of good wrestlers.
There's a lot of debate on how you could do it below Hogan as the GOAT on that stuff, but it all depends upon what people. I mean, you got to throw in the Austins, of course.
Yeah, The
Rock, the Triple H's, and all that, and all them too. But man, Macho's right up there. That's for sure.
Straight up, not this week coming up, but like next week, for the radio show, this is my thing for our list. I want to do our Brother Martin and Mr. Johnny P's Mount Rushmore.
Okay, let's do it.
Wrestlers.
We'll do it. I like that.
Because
we have to add an additional one though to get 5 out of it. So we'll add
that's fine.
We'll add in the Mount Rushmore +1.
I got you, because I know you got yours coming up this week, so we're gonna
no doubt we're gonna have some. That'll be a fun combo,
brother.
Daniel says, hold on really quick. Daniel said Halloween Havoc, I'd say, is number 1 for the originality, the big field.
Oh god, the entranceway, man,
it was so cool.
It was.
And Jeremy said the 91 and 92 Starrcade Battle Bowl was enjoyable. Teams created by the luck of draw. I like the Battle Bowl too. Chris, do you remember the Battle Bowl?
I do. It was like strange bedfellows.
Yeah, some people hated it. I always loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was an interesting concept, and it was usually really fun. So I like the Battle Bowls.
Well, you don't know whether something's good until you try it. So I mean, I really respect them for doing that concept.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, man, just let the listeners out there know, like me and John, like with this radio show that we're doing for this weekend, it's going to be some of the most controversial topics you guys will ever hear us talk about, because this is the thing. You guys thought the CM Punk that topic was spicy and hot. You just wait for what we got this weekend. I'm so excited, brother. I'm not going to ruin anything, but please tune in.
I'm going to give you an uncensored take on something. So,
yep,
100%. Unfiltered, uncensored, all that stuff. I'm going to throw it out there.
Raw and uncooked.
Yep, 100%. Jeremy's going to go with Flair as his number 1. A lot of people throw Flair in there too, of course, 100%. Hogan says, always says that Flair was the greatest. Flair always says Hogan's the greatest. That's two huge names right there that did so much for the business. These two are beating the snot out of each other in this match so far, Chris.
Oh god, yeah, like without a doubt.
This is Falls Count Anywhere too, folks. Just to throw it out here.
Oh god,
yeah. So they're going to take this all around the stadium, I'm sure.
Oh, they are. The arena. So far, this has been really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Hasn't been a bad second half so far.
Not at all, dude. This blows away the show last week without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, easily. That wasn't hard though. Johnny Pots and Pans.
Oh my god! But
when you talk about chemistry with performers, Macho Man and DDP had such tremendous chemistry with one another.
They did.
You could just see it.
Absolutely outstanding. And once again, Mr. DDP, he's given Macho the credit for making him a main eventer. And
true.
And this is the thing. Macho had the same stroke that Hulk Hogan had, and he could have been like, "Sorry, but that doesn't work for me." And he could have easily said, "Paige, you're gonna lose tonight," and DDP really had no say over that.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that Macho was willing to put over Paige, he knew that would help the company overall, because he saw a star in Paige. So I respect Macho for that.
Jeremy said, "I won't crap on Hogan. Flair talk better and can go an hour nightly and keep you entertained." Yeah, he definitely has the leg up on the in-ring work for sure. Promo wise, they both did the same shtick all the time and everything.
Yeah,
both of them were the same, pretty much the similar promos most of the time. So That's where I think the downfall to Piper and Hogan was at some points until Hogan switched over and changed his stuff up, was that they were doing the same gimmick most of the time for a lot of people. Flair's matches were great to me. They were great, but they were the same ones every time.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%.
You know, one of my favorite Flair matches is of all matches for Flair, Chris?
What's that?
Him and Vader.
Oh, the one from, I think it was Starrcade 93?
You got it. I enjoyed it. I loved the story that they told in the ring, the backstory of it, and Flair overcoming all the odds to beat Big Van Vader.
David versus Goliath, good versus evil, the giant versus the impossible challenger. Oh yeah. I agree 1,000%.
Let's be real. Vader was the man at that point in time in WCW. He was the biggest beast in wrestling in '93.
And whenever he went to the World Wrestling Federation, he ran into a large child by the name of Shawn Michaels. With all due respect to Shawn. And that ruined any chance of him being a long-term main eventer, which I think sucked because Vader was a believable badass.
And Mach got coke in his hand. He's got a bag of dust right there.
Whoa!
White powder.
Mach, you are on the air, sir.
Boom! Throws it right in his eyes.
I don't think Macho did drugs like that.
Oh shit!
Oh God!
Whatever that DDP sign was, he just smashed that right in his face.
Did he feel the bang?
He felt the bang. Daniel agrees with you right here, Chris. He said that Flair was a man until HBK got him. What a shame, too. But, you know, in fairness, though, in some ways with Vader did not take care of himself physically and was very out of shape and overweight. He wouldn't take it seriously. I think that was part of it, too. And then the other part was, a guy named Shawn Michaels that decided to use his stroke to bury a guy. And the reality was Big Van Vader would have beat the fucking shit out of him. And any day of the week he wanted with his eyes closed and probably both hands tied behind his back.
But he didn't want to lose his contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose that payday.
I mean, Vader had a family to take care of, so I can respect that.
One of my favorite moments of Vader was when he slapped the shit out of that dude in Kuwait.
My God, yes.
I thought it was hilarious.
Is wrestling fake? Do you want to see that?
Boom! Just grabs him. Loved it.
I would love to see Vader versus David Schultz.
Dr. D.
David Schultz.
Was it John Stossel or whatever his name is?
Yeah. With John Stossel, a special guest referee. I think that'd be awesome.
Would you agree Flair was for teens and adults and Hogan was for the kids? I think Flair was for the adults and I think Hogan was for the kids. I don't think Flair had the appeal for the teens, in my opinion, Jeremy. Adults, yes, because he lived the lifestyle that every guy would have wanted to live for his character. The limousine riding, jet flying, new woman every night, drinking, partying, having a good time. That's why I think he was more just for the adults. I could argue that Hogan was for the teens too, because there was still some of the younger teens that Hogan would have resonated with, but mainly the little kids.
Yeah. Bo!
Good match.
That was a beautiful pile driver.
Mickey J just got taken the fuck out there. He's done.
Dude.
We're getting another stretcher out here that Tony said he's calling for a stretcher for Mickey J. This is like the stretcher night tonight.
This is a stretch job we need to do.
This is a stretcher. This is stretchers all night on this show tonight.
Oh yeah. And but like for Flair, he was definitely geared towards the adults. Hogan, it was for the kids. And Hogan was smart because the kids, they're the ones that bug the crap out of their parents. Hey, mom, hey, dad, buy this for me. And
I know I did as a kid.
See, exactly. Hogan was.
I even had Hogan vitamins as a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because of like the workout set and all that. Like
everything. He sold every bit of merch that you could possibly imagine. They had the Hulk Hogan vitamins that I would take as a kid. Remember the Flintstone chewable ones?
Yes. Yeah,
they were like the Flintstone ones, but for Hogan.
Did they make you big and strong?
That's what I thought as a kid. The reality was it was just a Smartie. Just a piece of candy, probably. Speaking of Vader, I remember watching live when he took Mick Foley's ear. I remember Hogan vitamins. Yeah, another one. Jeremy remembers the Hogan vitamins. That shit with his ear when he got it caught in the ropes or whatever.
Disgusting.
Oh God, Mick and Vader had some fun matches too.
Dude, you talk about stiff. I mean,
Yeah,
we were
you
talking
read
about
my
Benoit
mind.
earlier. Good God.
You read my mind. I was going to say the exact same thing.
They beat the shit out of each other.
Every time they got in the ring, they did.
Oh, yeah.
They just killed each other. There was no off switch for either of those two.
But I feel bad for Mick because nowadays, dude, he can barely move.
Nick Patrick, what a gentleman. Macho's going to hit Kimberly, and Nick Patrick came right out and stepped in the way. What a jam up guy.
Oh, yeah. Me and you, we did a watch along to Halloween Havoc 93.
We did? Yes, we did, Jeremy. Was that the spin the wheel, make the deal?
Yeah, I think that was a Texas death match between
Flair and or not Flair, Vader and Cactus Jack, right?
Yeah. And then I think it had like the coal miners glove match between Sting and Jake and no. Havoc 1989 was the one with the steel cage match with the firemen. The great Muda.
That was the one with Muda.
Yes, the volunteer firemen.
Actually, I don't think it was Halloween Havoc. I think it was Chi-Town Rumble, maybe, or it was Starcade. I could be wrong. No, I think you're right. It is Halloween Havoc. Yeah, you are. I think you're right on that.
Holy crap!
One way or the other, there was something. They're fighting in the picnic bench area in the back there for the Great American Bash.
So,
oh, jeez,
good God! So
that wasn't candy glass.
So, did you hear Dusty? Oh my God! I love Dusty.
With the plant now.
Do you hear Dusty?
What did
Behind you, there's a barbecue kit. Grab it. There's a barbecue kit. Oh my God, I love you, Dusty.
Ooh, fuck, man.
Oh my
Macho
God.
just got put through the picnic bench.
The picnic basket. Dude, like those poor families that want to eat after the match. Jesus Christ.
Oh, they're beating the snot out of each other in this
match.
This
match is great.
Yeah, this is
it is. Good God.
This rivalry between these two in 97,
outstanding.
Really was perfection.
It was.
I wouldn't have done anything different between these two.
No, me neither. Now Luger.
Their final match. Sorry to interrupt really quick. Their final match that these two have isn't it Halloween Havoc 97?
Yes.
Okay.
And many consider it the best one out of all of them.
Yep.
What you call it? I mean, the feud was done to perfection. And then you had Luger and Hogan, which they could have done better.
It was a great build-up. It was a great moment. It just was done wrong at the end, in my opinion.
Yeah, they should have let Luger keep the belt for at least a month.
Yes, something more than that for sure. Jeremy said Halloween Havoc, Thunderdome, Flair, and Sting versus Funk and Muda. Is that when Flair turned on Sting, Jeremy?
So
might have been. I could be wrong though. Daniel says, "Give me DDP and Macho and Wars all day." Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We got Benoit and Sullivan over and over again, and it just stunk the place up eventually. These two probably never. It never would have been boring with these two. Ooh, nice move there by DDP.
Beautiful.
He's looking for that diamond cutter.
Isn't it? Hold on a second. Wasn't the Great American Bash 96 the first time Benoit and Sullivan fought?
Might have been, or it might have been Super Brawl 96. I can't remember, or Slamboree.
This feud was over. Yeah, you're right, dude. It was over like a year long.
Oh, okay. Jeremy says that was when Sting was a horseman, so they won the match. Okay. Yeah, Flair turned on him so many times through the years. It's hard to remember them all.
Sting is one of the most trusting wrestlers out there. So, good God.
Daniel says, I love that Macho was the one who raised DDP's hand when DDP won his first world title. Me too, Daniel. That was a special moment to see. And you know that had to have meant the world to DDP to have the Macho Man raising his hand after he won the belt.
And that was Spring Stampede 1999. And
it was a four-person match, right? There was like a four-man match?
Yep. And which I had that on VHS, actually. I had that, which I bought it from Hollywood Video. I bought the Spring Stampede 1999. And And in my opinion, was the last great pay-per-view World Championship Wrestling ever had.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. From there on out, I felt like the shows were good to mediocre.
I can't remember them all towards the end anymore. That's why I like doing this, because it's nice to go back and relive the history of the things you don't remember. You remember the big angles, but you don't remember everything about it.
I agree.
Especially towards the end of WCW when it was just fucking bowling shoe ugly all the time.
Oh, yeah. Bro,
I'm really looking forward to that, though. I really am looking forward to going back and checking it out when it got really bad. Boom! Diamond
Beautiful!
Cutter.
Out of nowhere.
Nice reversal there, too.
This match has been phenomenal.
Diamond Cutter, my favorite move of the 90s, probably, for a finisher.
Bang.
Yeah. I mean, the crowd would just erupt when he hit it. And, of course, Randy Orton did it his way with the RKO later on, which was even just as good.
Yeah.
Here comes Scott Hall coming out right now.
Last call, Scott Hall.
Ooh, kick Nick Patrick there to stop the count.
Why couldn't they just leave it? God damn it. I'm sorry.
Goes to hit DDP, misses. The belt goes flying right next to Macho. We know what's going to happen here in just a minute.
Can we not just have a clean finish?
Nah, they got to extend this out. You got to get a rubber match down the road. That's why.
Oh, yeah, because Paige won the last one, right?
I think so, yeah. I'm pretty sure he did.
Okay.
Favorite NWA WCW pay-per-view in what year? Ooh, that's a hard question. Let me think.
The fans are starting to throw shit in the ring.
Jeremy, that's a hard one. Chris, do you have a favorite NWA WCW pay-per-view?
God, that's a hard one too. I would have to say probably the Great American Bash 1996 because of what it led to. Wait, hold on. Or was that Bash to the Beach?
Which one?
Okay, it was Bash to the Beach 96 because of just the historic just with the birth of the New World Order, everything else. 96. The match card was outstanding from top to bottom. So yeah.
I'll throw a sleeper in there. Chi-Town Rumble was phenomenal.
Oh, that was great.
With Flair and Steamboat, that was a great one. There was a couple really good Super Brawls too. Super Brawl 92 was pretty decent if I remember. Great American Bash 89 was really good. Yeah, it's a hard one.
Yeah, I loved Spring Stampede 99. Damn, there's a lot of good ones. I love the Halloween Havoc 93. That was a good one. One of the worst ones, in my opinion, was Starrcade 94 with the main event between Hogan and the Butcher. But
the worst. Oh
yeah, shit, terrible.
Will Macho pick the victory up there? This feud is still going to be going on for a little later on in this year, but I don't remember where they go from here after this pay-per-view tomorrow night on Nitro, or would have been tomorrow night for them, the next night on Nitro. I don't remember where it goes, so I'm interested to kind of see where that comes up. So what do you give this last portion of the Great American Bash Part 2?
Without a shadow of a doubt, I give it a thumbs up. The second part was absolutely fantastic from top to bottom. The match quality is great. I love the match between Mr. Mean Kevin Greene and Steve Mongo McMichael. Believe it or not, I like the tag team match, with the Outsiders versus Flair and Piper. It was actually, the story was told very well, leading into the feud with Six and Ric Flair and all that. And the main event I thought was out freaking standing. A great story told. I thought towards the end that the interference was bullshit, but then you pointed out what it was leading to, so it made more sense for me. So definitely thumbs up, man. Excellent show all the way around for the second part. What about you?
Let me get to the comments first here real fast. Jeremy said Starrcade 89 Future Shock, Singles Tournament, Sting, Flair, Muda, Luger, Tag Tournament, Steiners, Road Warriors, Doom, Wild Samoans. great lineup right there. Great card too. Doom, another great tag team we've never talked about here on the show.
Very underrated.
Oh, 100%. I would like to see them have a longer run together. Daniel says way better. Thankfully, it was done in 2 parts because that first half might have been one of the worst I've seen. The first half was awful, like just purely awful. This second part, way better. Agreed. Really, really liked the Meng and Benoit match. I thought it was really good.
Yes.
The Kevin Greene and Mongo wasn't bad. It wasn't exciting too much for me, but it wasn't awful.
Both guys, they gave 100%.
They did. It wasn't awful in any ways. It just wasn't amazing. So, but it wasn't bad. From what I saw of the tag match, it was pretty good. And I love the main event here tonight. I thought this main event was just perfect. These guys,
I agree,
left it all out there, put their 100% effort and then some into it, and it just shows you the professionals that Macho Man Randy Savage and DDP were, and why they're 2 of the all-time greats. So I'm going to give it 100% a thumbs up, Mr. Martin, for the last part here tonight. Overall for the show, I'd give it an in the middle just because of how bad the first part was, and I couldn't give it over the top thumbs up for the whole show, but I'd give it an in the middle for the entire show.
Oh yeah, I agree.
What would you say? Yeah.
In the middle, because
we're not doing the Triple H thumbs down to Randy Orton with Batista.
No,
we're not doing that one. We're just gonna go neutral here, like Switzerland. So
what the fuck?
We're gonna go neutral. So we're gonna play it safe. Jeremy said the tournaments for the Crockett Cup and took place in the Omni. Sting's Rising.
Oh, outstanding!
I love the Omni days too, and Omni's such a great old time stadium out in Atlanta.
Jeremy, which out of respect for you, brother, because you've been such an awesome fan, within like the next few months, you pick a few old school shows and me and John will do them for you.
You got it. I love it, man. I love it.
So there you go.
Think of some and let us know next week, Jeremy, what you want us to do, and we'll do them over the next coming months and hit them back up. We do a Clash of the Champions series here, Jeremy. I don't know if you've checked it out in the past. We started it a few months back. And we did a Clash of the Champ. We do that where we watch a Clash every month, and those clashes are a lot of fun to go back and check out.
Oh yeah, whenever you get back from surgery, like we'll be able to we'll be doing some more content. So you guys just hang in there.
There's a plethora of stuff that we can always do, and we always do. We always find some gem or something that we want to check out, and always have fun with it. So, well, Chris, it was a great time tonight, my friend. I always thoroughly enjoyed it with you. As always, any closing thoughts tonight before we head off?
It's been an absolute blast. Thank you so much for the fans that have came out, Daniel and Jeremy. For the ones that are going to join us later, thank you so much. You guys are absolutely amazing. Make sure to check us out every single Saturday and Sunday on the Retro Wrestling Revival radio show. And really quick, I know this person really doesn't like us, but I want to send my condolences to the Queen of Extreme, Francine, who recently lost her mother. My thoughts and prayers are with her because I know what it's like to lose my mom. So do you, John. So
I know that's terrible to hear, and 100%, condolences. So, that's terrible. I just lost mine last year. It's a hard thing to lose your mom. So I didn't know that. That's terrible to hear.
So yeah, but other than that, thank you guys. We love you, and that's all I got to say tonight.
All right. Well, we had a blast once again. Love the Hollywood Blondes too, Jeremy. They are fucking tremendous. Love the Hollywood Blondes. Oh, loved doing this show as always with you, buddy. We had a great time. We'll see you guys over the weekend on the radio. Hopefully, come out and check it out. Look for the links on our Facebook page. Subscribe, whatever you got to do on Facebook. Follow the page. Like it, subscribe on YouTube, and go check out our TikTok too, Retro Wrestling Revival on TikTok. Good night, Jeremy. Good night, Daniel. Good night, everybody. Chris, we will do this again real soon. Thank you very much, everybody. Hope you had a blast with us, whether it was live or later on. And have no fear, we'll be back again next week live right here on Facebook. So for Mr. Martin, I'm John. We are out of here. We will catch you again real soon right here on the Retro Wrestling Revival.
Boom.